Hey guys, welcome back to the Foolish Show. Of course, I am Foolish Phil. Just wanted to give you some of my thoughts after Michigan's 52-10 victory over the Minnesota Golden Gophers. And another strong showing for this team, another dominant performance, and the score reflected that, how the game really seemed to play out. And just start from the beginning, man. Second play of the game, Will Johnson sits on a quarterback staring down the wide receiver, picks it off, end zone, Michigan up 7-0, like 2 plays into the game. That's like a good set, man. You got to consider then, too, Michigan just was ready to run them out of the building, but it didn't happen, right? Sorry, my cat's shaking the camera, rubbing against it. A few uncharacteristic errors, like Johnson misses catch up a ball that would have been a first down on a third down, would have maybe been walking for a touchdown. Michigan settles for a field goal, 10-0 Michigan. Okay, fine. But then, Toby, okay, he's leaving now. Hopefully he don't. Sorry about the shaking. Michigan had a little bit of trouble stopping the Minnesota run, and they were running for quite a bit here. In the first half, they ran for 70 rushing yards against Michigan, and they were doing some good stretch runs and such, and getting some good chunk yardage. And I have to point out something. Michigan, I believe, called a timeout. It was like a third down or second down, and Michigan called a timeout. Nebraska had run for like 2 straight first down, big chunk yards on them. Michigan called a timeout, and right after that, Mason Graham did a nice swim move, beat 3 people, and got the running back down for a 4-yard loss. Then Michigan got, forced the quarterback to run after that. He got 5 yards. A 3rd and 14 became 4th and 9. Kicker made a nice 54-yard field goal. Kudos to them. 10-3. Okay. But that switch right there, where Michigan kind of made sure to get Graham in there on key running plays, that really seemed to help. I'm just going to side tangent right here. Mason Graham was the player of the game to me. I know I was listening to Michigan football broadcast on it again. The radio loved it, synced that up. My brother did a great job of that. I love hearing their broadcast. They gave it to him, too, as the player of the game, and Avant interviewed him right after the game, too. But, his line, every time he was in, it seemed he made some big play, but his line, he had, 6 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and a sack. So I always wonder if a tackle for loss and a sack are the same thing. Or that 3 tackles for loss he had overall. It doesn't matter. He dominated with his club. It's like he just dominated. It's like took the game over. Nebraska was really limited after that first little success they had running the ball. Their quarterback didn't do much of anything until the end of the first half. Now I can laugh about it. But at the end of the first half, P.J. Fleck was wasting time. His team was huddling up. He blew his last time out. It was just like they were playing for a field goal. And inexplicably, Michigan blew a coverage, and the safety didn't go over the top, and Sanders still got beat and was doing trail technique, and they hit a touchdown, a 35-yard touchdown pass, with 6 seconds to go in the half. P.J. Fleck was totally screwing the plays up totally, and then they got rewarded. Total bonehead offense, and then they get a touchdown out of it. It's oh. So that's what I'm feeling at halftime. I'm Michigan was up 24-3, but then this almost like a just complete blown play, blown defense, and it's 24-10. It's what felt like should have been an easy, comfortable, we're going to blow this team out, suddenly didn't feel that way. It was deflating to me. I don't know what it was like to you guys as fans. I don't know. As a player, you're probably, okay, whatever, let's rebound. But the team maybe was a little deflated, but as a fan, I totally was. And Michigan came out in the second half and went 3 and out, I was like, oh man, what's going on? But the defense settled down. The defense, outside of that one 35-yard touchdown play, only gave up total 52 yards in the first half through the air. But notice that 52 yards through the air. Second half, after that first 3 and out, Michigan just got it going. A touchdown, 3 and out, touchdown, 3 and out. Then a pick 6. Keon Sabb got a second pick 6 for the game. And that was basically the dagger. It made it 45-10, Michigan. And then, JJ was out. Third quarter, again, JJ's on the sideline. Tuttle's in. He goes off and leads a touchdown drive. Just, that's what you want to see as, quote-unquote, a number 2 team in the country. It wasn't exactly how you wanted it. You wish you would have had, some points here and a few points less given up. But here's a cool stat. I'm sure I wasn't the only one to say this or think about it. Michigan's starting defense now has 3 touchdowns and has only given up 2 touchdowns. I'm saying the starters. Against Nebraska, that was against the second string that got the touchdown, and some other ones. So you got the Rutgers and now Nebraska. Rutgers and Minnesota are the only 2 touchdowns I believe they've given up all year against the starters. And they have 3 pick sixes in there. So even that, tonight the defense outscored the offense 14-0, right? So, 14-10. So the defense really stepped up, and Mason Graham was just a dominant force. JJ, what can you say, man? 70% completions, 14 out of 20. I mean, that doesn't look super impressive, but he does what he has to do. And he had a couple drops in there. And it's like, he played a really solid game. 1 touchdown to Loveland, great pass there. 2 rushing touchdowns too, so 3 total touchdowns. Excellent. Those 2 rushing touchdowns were not like the Nebraska ones where he was wide open and just walked in. He had to give a stiff arm to one cornerback and got in. The other one, he had to stretch it out, switch his hands nicely, broke around to the edge. So, excellent job. That really changes the dynamic of Michigan's offense when he can run the ball. So 3 total touchdowns for him. Corum, 9 carries. 9 carries for 69 yards for Blake Corum. He wasn't hurt or anything. Michigan just didn't need him. So you know what you're doing? You're saving him for games where Michigan will need him, where you're going to have to grind out game-ending drives and tight games. You're saving him wear and tear. So that's excellent. Edwards, 4 rushes for 20 yards, and I think he had 4 or 5 receptions too. So excellent job on that. So, just great, man. Just balanced offense. About 200 yards in both categories again. Here's another fun stat I heard on my drive back home. Michigan's team. Again, you don't want to beat yourself, right? Listen to this. In Big Ten play, Michigan had 3 penalties against Rutgers. Obviously, we know 0 were called against Nebraska. We know the refs were ready to get out of there quick. And then tonight, only 1 statistically given. The radio show was talking about this too. Domain, I think it was, kicked the ball out of bounds, so they got it at the 35-yard line. That doesn't officially go as a penalty against the team, and they didn't know why. Maybe stats will fix that, but it wasn't his there. It was an official penalty, so weird. So Michigan is not beating itself, which is great. He has 52 out of 10. Another solid game. Another fun fact. I think 73 of 74 Michigan players who made the trip were on the field, so that's great. Hey guys, my time's almost done. My battery might die on me, so I got to wrap this up. Thanks for watching. If you have any comments, put them in the box below. I'll try to respond as I'm able to. Until I see you guys next time, as always, go blue.